Welcome to Darien High School for some FCIAC baseball. We have a rivalry game between the Darien Blue Wave and the New Canaan Rams. I'm joined alongside David Popson and John Frieders. John, what should we expect in this matchup?
Yeah, well, this game is going to be definitely a matchup between another rivalry game between New Canaan, Darien. It's Ram Week. New Canaan, Darien battling out on all surfaces on the field. Now here in for some baseball, and coming into this game, right, Darien, you would say is the favorite with their 8-3 record. And then on the other side, the Rams kind of hit the struggle. They started off 0-3, but since then things haven't gone their way, especially in the FCIAC. They're 2-6 in the FCIAC conference this year, so a big time matchup against Darien here, right? A big win will go a long way.
Today we're looking at Tyler Easterbrook is on the mound for Darien, looking to get in a groove against these first couple of New Canaan batters. He's done very well this season. It's his second year pitching in the DHS rotation, and he's made 6 starts. He's had a couple good last 5 games, except against Wilton. He had a noticeable bad game. He pitched 1.2 innings and let up 5 earned runs.
The defense has really been good this year. We have Dominic Zawacki at second base and Leo Zawacki at shortstop. They've really held it down for the infield. And notable Teddy Smosky in center field has made some amazing plays. I think we're in for a great matchup.
Yeah, rough showing in the outfield this year, especially for Darien, losing a couple of their starters going into the season. Aiden Elders out with a ruptured spleen, Ryan Gerlamo not returning, and Tommy Karczewski needing a knee surgery. So the Darien has had a lot of players step up in the outfield, and sometimes it's been rough, but for the most part, the guys have filled in the spots.
Yeah, and you talk about this first couple batters, you'll see for New Canaan leading off. It'll be Jack Sheffield, number 24. He'll be starting in left field when the innings flip over, right, when it goes from the top to the bottom. But then also behind him is Thomas Schulman, the sophomore, a guy that's kind of worked his way up from JV to varsity this year. Got a lot of playing time on JV, then got a couple at-bats, got some opportunities, but this year, getting lots of opportunities on varsity.
And the first pitch is going to be a ball. The second pitch is going to be a ball. Now, David, what should we expect from Tyler Easterbrook in terms of pitching? How fast does he throw? What does he like to throw?
Tyler Easterbrook, definitely a strong pitcher on the mound. He's had some good games this year. He really darts it in. He loves the fastball, and he's a great pitcher for the Wave. Probably the #1 starter this year behind their reliever, Merritt Hull, who's also a great pitcher. Merritt this year his top speed is 89, but he sits at 85 to 87.
Yeah, and one thing kind of to get this game started right, especially since you're the home team, you want to get the balls in the zone early on. You don't want to find yourselves in the 3-1 counts, right, the 3-0 counts where you have to work back. You want to get ahead of these top batters, especially in front of Sheffield and Benevento, as that one skied into center. That'll be caught in center by the Blue Wave.
That'll be Teddy Smosky making the catch.
Teddy Smosky in center field, going to make that one catch on Sheffield. But, great at-bat from Sheffield there. Was up 2-1, decided. Got a little bit under it, right, but you can see them in front of us. They're talking that fastball. There's no movement on that thing. That thing comes right in. So look for New Canaan batters to be aggressive early on in the counts, right, and get kind of their feet in the bat, as here is Schulman stepping up to the dish. And he gets under that one. That one's going to be skied towards the left side of the infield. That one's going to be a foul ball.
So in the first at bat, Tyler Easterbrook went down 2-1. He really battled back, got the ball in play, had an easy out for the center fielder. I think that's what he's going to be looking to do all game, is getting quick outs and not building the pitch count.
And that's going to be a ball taken on the outside part, a little bit high, a little bit outside. There against Schulman, makes it a 1-1 count. He fouled off the first pitch out of the left side. We're going to attack early here on pitch here from Easterbrook. And that one's inside, pushes him off the plate a little bit. Schulman takes a step back. That's ball 2, 2-1 here.
And David, we have a new face at first base. because of the injured Andrew Olson going down with a wrist injury. Tell us who's at first.
We're looking at Tyler Spellman here at first today. He's been there for about a couple weeks now since Andrew Olson injured his wrist. He stepped up to the play. I mean, there's a couple times when you're looking for a more experienced guy like Andrew Olson to step in. He was the leading batter for the Wave before he got injured. And it's a big piece missing for them offensively, but defensively, Tyler Spellman has been pretty solid, I would say.
The 2-2 count. That one's fouled off.
That one goes high off the fence. Good delivery from Easterbrook, and he's just going to keep on attacking with fastballs. You know, keep on attacking against Schulman with the fastballs, the inside. That one looked like it hung a little bit, but he's able to foul that one off.
Tyler Easterbrook was that guy they went to last year, especially with some struggling in pitching. Not the best showing last year. They went 9-11. They didn't make the FCIAC playoffs. They did make states, got bounced in the second round. Darien is looking to win. If they win this game, they'll win more than last year, and it'll be a very successful season.
You talk about not making the FCIAC playoffs. Neither of these teams did, as Schulman fouls that one off. He's going to stay in there and battle, but neither of these teams made the FCIAC playoffs. Then also, New Canaan got bounced in the second round after beating Fairfield Prep, a game which they entered and kind of were expected to lose. And once they won, you know, Boss talked about it, got a lot of congratulations for taking out Fairfield Prep. But that's a big victory. And then coming into this season, right, it's a senior-heavy kind of roster with a lot of younger talent, right, still developing. But they have a strong group of seniors leading this team. As Schulman lines that one right into left field, we'll see that's just going to be a single. A great piece of contact by Schulman.
That was a great hit from Schulman on the 3-2 count. John, as a former baseball player, what was your thoughts going in? When he's sitting there in the batter's box, what's he thinking on that 3-2 count?
Yeah, you know, just make contact, but you always got to be careful with 2 strikes, right? You're making sure that everything's close, and you got to swing at everything close because you don't want to get rung up looking. That's like the least, that's the thing you're scared of most, right, is getting run up looking, because that means you didn't swing at that 3rd strike. But that was a great approach from Schulman, right? Nice and calm in the box, just lines that one opposite to the left side over the shortstop's head.
Now we have Alex Benevento at the plate. Alex Benevento, the Brown commit. He's having an amazing season. 4 home runs on the year. What's led to his success?
Well, before we get to that, right, just an approach kind of for Easterbrook. I think this is important to talk about, right? Easterbrook is going to stay away from the fastball. You don't want to give Benevento fastballs. You mentioned he does have 3 home runs on the year, 13 RBIs, and he's batting .750 on the season. And there's definitely been a couple interviews conducted. I know the Rudin Report interviewed him, the CT Game Time interviewed him. He's getting a lot of media attention. But one thing that's big for him is he's not scared to perform under pressure. The pressure doesn't do anything for him. He was a star on the football field, first team All-State this year, first team All-FCIAC football, a big part of that New Canaan offense. But you see Easterbrook a little bit nervous with Schulman on first base right now, throwing it over right, kind of just keeping Schulman close, because if Schulman gets a step off, you know, he could score on a double into the gap. One delivery there. That was an off-speed pitch. Ball on the outside part of the plate. Ball 2 against Benevento.
You talk about him keeping Schulman tight to first base by throwing it over to Spellman there. Does playing against a batter like Benevento affect that?
Well, you always got to be mindful, right? Game situation. You know, just keeping runners close, especially early on in the game. You know, you want to be aware. Schulman's definitely got wheels, too. He's got speed out there on the base pass, so you got to watch. And then just having runners on early, right? It definitely changes the mindset on the mound in terms of having a guy on first, even second. You know, as they progress through the bases, right? A runner on first is definitely a little less pressure than a guy on second or third where you're trying to hold them. But Easterbrook just making sure Schulman stays close as he steps off there.
Especially against a batter like Benevento, who's batting .750 on the season. You can't let him get to in-scoring position.
And Benevento's not a guy to strike out. Only 2 strikeouts on the season. He's gone walked 11 times, and I think that's because pitchers are maybe scared to pitch to him. They don't want to give up big hits because he's a man who's going to hit the ball hard, and he's going to score lots of runners.
Yeah, and Benevento has 9 extra base hits on the year. in just 11 games. You talk about the run he's on right now. Benevento putting together a pretty historic senior season campaign, as that one's high. Fastball up high, but it's still coming straight in. Here, Benevento in a 3-2 count, full count. This is where Benevento works at his finest. You mentioned only striking out twice, so makes contact a lot of the time, almost every single time he walks up to the plate. So just look for him to kind of change his approach here, right? Like when you're in a 3-2 count, you're not trying to smoke the ball, hit it as hard as you can. You're just trying to advance the runner and just put the ball in play.
And like you said, Schulman, speedy on the base pads. They're really checking him and making sure he doesn't go. That's the third time they've thrown back to first base.
3-2 delivery from Easterbrook.
Schulman goes.
Oh!
And he strikes Benevento out. Off-speed pitch on the outside part of the plate. Third strikeout on the year, but definitely didn't really get the pitches that he wanted in that at-bat. You can tell he's a little bit frustrated, but Schulman took second on the strikeout.
Definitely a little frustrated on the walk back from home plate there. He looked very mad at himself. I wonder if that will affect him for the rest of the game.
No, it won't. Benevento really strong mentally. That's not going to affect him. One at-bat. I think one of the biggest things in baseball, right, is not letting the previous at-bat affect your next at-bat or your plays in the field, as Silva takes the first ball. 1-0 count to the Colby commit.
And if Silva hits this ball into the outfield, we could see Schulman going home and try to get an early lead on Darien.
Yeah, and then that translates, right? You get the one run in early, and then you give some run support to your pitcher. And on the mound today for New Canaan will be Jack Jensen. Probably you would consider their ace this season, 3-0, putting together also another great senior season after a rough junior campaign. Delivery from Easterbrook, off-speed pitch in the box against Silva. That makes it a 1-1 count. 2 outs, runner on second. That's Thomas Schulman on second, the sophomore, the 2-hitter, and right out up in the box is the 4-hitter, Henry Silva. Another curveball there. That one got in. Silva took it. Silva looks like he's waiting for the fastball, but if you're Easterbrook, you're just going to keep throwing your off-speed stuff here.
Yeah, I agree. He's just trying to get this man out. He's not really focused on the guy on second. 2 outs. You really just need to get this batter out. And as I say that, he steps off.
Yeah, but you're right? You don't need to maintain your full attention on that runner on second, right? Focus on this batter. You have 2 strikes on a talented hitter in Henry Silva. And one more ends the inning with 2 outs. Easterbrook there. That one's smoked by Silva, left field. And that's going to be caught, unfortunately. Silva lines it to left field on the fastball that he had been waiting for the entire count. That one lined into left field. Good piece, good bat on ball contact there, right there. But not going to get it done.
No, just got under it. Didn't go as far as he wanted to. Owen Tyler made a great catch. And that's going to be the end of the top of the first. And Darien escapes. 1 base runner left on for New Canaan. In the second, they're definitely going to try and warm up the bats a little bit more. But I think for Darien, getting hitters like Benevento out was very key for them. And it's really going to see if they can win this game, if they can keep on getting these powerful hitters out and containing the base runners.
Yeah, Easterbrook has really been looking to get the ball in play here. He's not afraid to let him get their bats under it. They're eating up his fastball a little bit, but there's always outfielders under it.
Yeah, you'll see the Rams warming up here. Jensen on the mound, a guy you can expect about 88 to 90 on the fastball. Then a couple off-speed pitches, the changeup, the curveball. And behind the dish, freshman sensation, Maddox Hoffman stepped in. He's a freshman on varsity, the catcher. And there was a lot of talk kind of coming into this season about Hoffman, and he's definitely delivered, especially on that defensive side. He's thrown out 5 guys on the base path already, so he has the arm. And one thing to make note of here, right, in Darien is that backstop. It's definitely a bigger backstop, so as a catcher, you've got to get in front of the ball, block the ball, and really keep everything in front of you so that guys can't take one, maybe even two bases, right? If you're not quick enough to the ball, that guy could go from first to third.
Yeah, and leading off for the Blue Wave is going to be Dom Zawacki. Dom is not a person you're going to want to let on base at the top. He's a national runner for indoor track, so he's very fast on the bases, and he's just looking to get on and make that speed worth it and get some extra bases.
He definitely uses his short stature to his advantage here, leading Darien in on-base percentage and average this season. He's been a pitcher's nightmare sometimes because you just have no read on what this guy's going to do.
Jensen, the first pitch of the night. That one is a ball. That one a little bit high.
And David, can we just talk about the Darien dugout? I mean, compared to New Canaan, they're loud. They're really trying to get the pitcher off his game.
Yeah, Darien's looking rowdy today. We're not getting that noise from the New Canaan dugout earlier. Those boys are hyped. They love their captain, Dominic Zawacki, and they're really looking to get out to a hot start here. They're all hyped up after striking out Benevento.
Jensen, too early fastballs. That one ground ball to the left side, fielded by Schulman, thrown over to Delicata at first, and gets the first out of the inning.
Just couldn't beat out that. Now for the Blue Wave is Teddy Smosky, the junior, plays center field. He's having a good season, batting .250. He's mainly a singles guy.
That one high, a repeat of the first at bat. That first pitch from Jensen was high on Zawacki. This one on Smosky, high, 1-0. The delivery, that one this time low, not high, ball two.
Jensen looking a little bit wild here on these first couple of pitches, throwing high to Dom and throwing low again to Teddy. How do you think he's going to find his groove?
Yeah, you know, he's a pitcher that once he gets locked in, it's really hard to get him off of, kind of break his concentration, but that one, a great job. Another fastball, using that fastball here early. That was a fly ball into center field, fielded by Benevento, caught. A line out by Smosky.
And here's the other half of the Zawacki brothers, Leo. Leo, the junior. He has Darien's only home run on the season in that crucial victory against Staples, beating them 7-6. He was the key part to that. He was one of the key parts of that victory. David, what do you think, Leo? How do you think Leo can get the bats warmed up for the Blue Wave?
Leo, he's just got to look to make solid contact here. The first two batters did, but the hits will start falling. They're going to start dropping soon. Leo's just got to find a way to make solid contact and get a hold of this Jensen fastball.
Jensen with an off-speed pitch there. As you mentioned, the fastball, that's strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The 3-hitter Leo Zawacki up at the dish. Jensen, the delivery. That one high.
Using his height to his advantage. I've noticed the difference between the pitchers is Jensen is a little bit more fast in between pitches than Easterbrook. Easterbrook takes his time. There's a lot more time in between pitches, looking maybe because of the base runners, but maybe that will play a factor. What do you think?
Yeah, well, Jensen just wants to kind of go at his own pace, right? Kind of speed up the pace of the game. That's a tactic you see, as that's a fastball fouled out of play deep into the Darien woods here. But Jensen, right, he likes speeding up pitches here in the full count. He's not going to change. He kind of likes to go at his own pace, speeding things up here a little bit early on the 3-2 count. Delivery fastball, and he rings him up. A backwards K for Jensen gets him out of the inning.
Leo Zawacki looking a little frustrated there. He was running towards the first baseline. He thought for sure that was a walk, but the umpire had other ideas here. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it was a correct call.
That was a great pitch from Jensen, right, going inside. Great placement on the pitch from Jensen on Zawicki. And a great job there from Jensen. Get out of the inning quickly, keep the pitch count down, and that'll do it for the first inning. We'll see you in just a couple moments for the top of the second. Welcome back on DAF here. A scoreless first inning from both teams here. The top of the second, you'll see the New Canaan Rams batting number 5, 6, 7 in the order. Adrian Delicata, followed by Michael Marciano and Jack Somers. Delicata here digging in early against Easterbrook. What a first inning Easterbrook had, guys, right?
Yeah, Tyler Easterbrook had a very nice.
That one going to be a pop out from Delicata into left field. Caught. Delicata not able to get a hold of that one. Got under it.
Yeah, like I was saying, Tyler Easterbrook, very strong first inning. He let up one hit, but other than that, it was pretty perfection. He had very much success with the fastball. And he's going to look to continue that momentum going into the second inning.
Easterbrook, the 0-0 delivery. That's a strike in there for strike one. 0-1 count for Michael Marciano. Michael Marciano is the DH, the designated hitter for the Rams today. Easterbrook on the bump. And Somers on deck. The 0-1 delivery. And that one lined into center field. And that'll be caught by the Blue Wave center fielder, but a great piece of contact from Marciano. A good swing.
Routine catch for Teddy Smolsky, although that hit was hit with a lot of power from Marciano. Smolsky once again stepping up in center field and just making the catches out there look easy.
Somers will dig in now. 2 quick outs for Easterbrook. Easterbrook keeping on the pitch count early, right? You mentioned the first 2 outs of this inning happened quickly. That one a strike on the outside part of the plate. Easterbrook delivers the first pitch. That was a strike outside part of the plate. Somers up right now, the second baseman for the Rams. Easterbrook, the delivery. That one got inside the hands of Somers. Goes out of play to the right.
And Easterbrook is a guy who can go the long haul. If he's pitching well, he can go 6 innings, pitching 90+, and that's what is really beneficial for the Blue Wave, is saving their relief pitchers for maybe another game. And if Easterbrook is just on his game, the Darien Blue Wave is just going to have a great game. Easterbrook is 2-1 with 2 no decisions, but in those 2 no decisions, they've gotten the win. So Easterbrook has been able to keep it close in most games, except for, obviously, that Wilton game that David talked about earlier in the broadcast.
The second pitch of the at-bat fouled out from Somers. Easterbrook, though, pounding the zone early here, throwing it right into the New Canaan hitters. The New Canaan hitters making solid contact. Just feels like it's finding the fielder's gloves. Another one fouled off by Somers.
Yeah, Easterbrook looked like he gained a little confidence after that first inning there. He definitely is going and attacking the New Canaan batters this inning. 2 quick first outs, 0-2 count right now. I bet Easterbrook's looking to make him pay and get out of this inning fast.
You're right. Getting out of innings quickly in high school baseball is just so important. You don't want to kind of ramp up that pitch count. The delivery from Easterbrook, lined into right field from Somers. That's going to be a single. Somers putting the brakes on at first, but a good piece of contact a little bit late, but he got it over the first baseman's head there.
Yeah, right over Tyler Spellman's head. But Merritt Hole with a nice little pickup, slinging it right to the second baseman, Dominic Zawacki, to only hold him for a single. And now Hoffman is going to come up and try to move the base runners with 2 outs.
2 out single for Somers puts him on first. 2 outs in the inning. And that brings up Maddox Hoffman, the catcher for this New Canaan Rams team. Again, freshman, just a freshman on varsity. You mentioned that in every high school sport, it's impressive. But how about baseball? You know, just coming in as a freshman, right? High expectations that you have to live up to. And so far this season, he's done just that.
Yeah, going to the batter's box as a freshman is definitely a challenging thing, especially against a pitcher like Easterbrook. He's just going to look to attack him with the fastball against an inexperienced freshman who may not know all the tricks that an experienced veteran like Easterbrook has up his sleeve.
And Easterbrook pounding the zone here early on. It's a first pitch strike in there. Somers checked back to first base. The pickoff attempt from Easterbrook unsuccessful. But we've seen that time and time again. Is this something typical of Easterbrook to check the first base and second base, often and pick off lots of pickoff attempts?
Easterbrook looks like he just likes to keep that guy close to first base. He likes to take his time between his pitches, and he'll keep him at first base, and he really hates the guy stealing, I guess.
Easterbrook delivers, and that's a ball. 1-1 count here for Hoffman, but you mentioned the banter from the Darien Blue Wave bench. How about the banter from the New Canaan bench now? New Canaan bench seeming got a little bit of energy in between innings. Now coming back and a little bit of energy on the sideline as Allen delivers forward ball 2.
Yeah, I noticed after that first inning, the New Canaan outfield was riled up. Maybe they heard us in between innings and said we gotta rally this our hitters because we've been quiet, and they're kind of emulating Darien's behavior.
Easterbrook the delivery, that one fouled off to the right side. Hoffman.
Yeah, that New Canaan bench looked like they said whatever Darien's bench can do, we can do better, because they definitely came out this second inning with a fire on the bench, looking to try to get into Easterbrook's head and get their team going.
2-2 count here. Hoffman, the freshman, digging in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Lots of 2s on the scoreboard. And Somers on first. Another pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful from Easterbrook. Trying to keep Somers on first.
You got to think he's going to get one eventually with the amount of times he's trying to pick him off.
Yeah, that percentage, though, will not be high.
I mean,
I'd expect.
As long as you get one, that's all that matters.
Oh,
Easterbrook,
and he goes again,
another
just
one.
as we're talking about it.
Going back to first, keeping Somers on. And Somers isn't doing anything special at first base, right? He's not clapping his hands, not taking a couple steps off. He's just standing over at first.
Somers really should just start clapping in his face, honestly, I think, man. He's got to keep him to Easterbrook's head if he's going to try and keep him there.
And he goes.
And Somers goes to pick up. Somers takes second. Easterbrook checking him multiple times before Somers stole, and that was a fastball that Somers stole, so nothing special. Fielded cleanly by the catcher for the Blue Wave. And that's Jack Nee behind the dish, not able to throw out Somers on the steal attempt. And now that puts a runner in scoring position. Somers at second. Now playing a little bit of mind games with Easterbrook. And Maddox Hoffman at the dish. 3 balls, 2 strikes delivery. And strikes out. Maddox Hoffman strikes out on the fastball.
You got to think Easterbrook might have had a copy of New Canaan's script here, man, because he was throwing it, and all of a sudden we got Somers just stealing. He really looked like he knew that Somers was going to take that base. Is Somers known for being speedy on the New Canaan roster?
Yeah, Somers is known for his speed. He's very quick on the base path. But then again, right, you were in a 2-2 count, and then he threw a ball when Somers stole, but then came back and luckily got himself through the strikeout. But you got to wonder if they're just trying to get into Easterbrook's head, right, kind of make up the pitch count, kind of make him throw more pitches. The pitch count's probably around 20, 25 pitches so far. You know, Easterbrook hasn't been out there and hasn't been throwing lots of pitches. So if you're New Canaan, right, you want to start kind of lengthening these at-bats and start grinding out at-bats, get a couple balls on the count, and then get a couple you don't want a couple of strikes, but you want to keep kind of staying in there, maybe start taking a couple pitches to get Easterbrook's pitch count up.
Yeah, and that second inning really was like the first inning. A base runner got to first, stole. Easterbrook kept on trying to keep him at first base. And then while he was on second, just forgetting about the base runner and getting the last out to end the inning. And yet again, New Canaan leaves a runner on second base.
A couple strikeouts from the New Canaan batters here. But they're both teams really doing a good job of putting balls in play, and I think that's what it takes, right? You can't expect errors, but you can expect kind of some situations. You want to put the ball in play and try to make the other team make the mistakes. I know New Canaan's had definitely some fielding struggles this season. I'm not sure about the Blue Wave, but the Blue Wave definitely the favorite coming into this game, and what a season it's been for them so far.
Yeah, coming up to bat now is Merritt Hull, the junior on the season.
And Hull up at the dish, facing off against Jensen. Jensen, the first pitch delivery.
And the ump is going to talk to him. Didn't like what he saw.
They might be.
I'm thinking it could be a balk. I think he's saying, I think he's giving him a warning on what not to do. saying if you do it again, it's going to be a balk.
The pitching coach out for New Canaan, Coach Gallo, is out there kind of confirming things with the head umpire behind the dish. But you saw Jensen throw a pitch there as the ump was calling for time. Right now, 1 ball, no strikes, and no outs. Hole up at the dish. That one up and away from Jensen.
Merritt Hole there shaking his head at the pitcher, trying to get in his head maybe a little bit, telling him that's definitely not a strike.
That one is.
Jensen puts that one right in the zone. 4 strike 1, 2 balls, 1 strike, and no outs. Jensen on the bump facing off against Hole. And that one swung on by Hole, missed. Nothing but air on that swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Jensen attacking with a fastball, the delivery, and some off-speed stuff from Jensen. A curveball gets Hole for the first out of the inning.
Coming up to bat now is the lefty Tyler Spellman. As we mentioned earlier, he replaced Andrew Olson at first base, Darien Blue Waves' leading hitter on the season. Andrew Olson was having a great season, but now Tyler Spellman has big shoes to fill at that position. And he's going to be looking to making contact here and get on base, hopefully get driven in by one of his teammates.
Yeah, it would be the first base runner for the Blue Wave. That one, strike 1. Right at the knees, a lower strike. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. No one for the Blue Wave. Successful in getting on base. That one grounded over to Delicata, and that'll be the first fielding error of the day. Delicata tried to scoop it from the ground up. Maybe a mistake instead of trying to get in front of that one and field it cleanly. That one, an error will be charged towards Delicata.
Looks like he almost popped the ball up with his hand. It went up a little higher than expected, bounced off the top, almost on his wrist a little bit. Looked like a pretty routine grounder over to him, but looks like he tried to overcomplicate it, use a little too much swagger. You just got to keep to the basics there.
And the pickoff. Yeah, and that's what you really need to get the bats going for the Blue Wave. That just 1 base runner. Now up to bat is Sean Brophy, and he's really going to try and get the first hit for the Blue Wave and send Tyler Spellman to second, third, or even home.
That one in the dirt, blocked by Hoffman there. Jensen on the delivery. You have Spellman on first because of the error at first base on a routine ground ball by Delicata. That one fielded, shot over into right field, fielded by Sheffield. And that one puts a man on first and second for the Blue Wave.
And great contact there from Sean Brophy. And, you know, maybe that, what do you think that one error, is that going to spark the bats for the Blue Wave? I mean, that can really throw off a pitcher. First, the warning with the balk. He looked like he had it under control against Merritt, making him strike out. But now, since Spellman reached, it looks like Darien could get these bats warmed up.
And that was a good piece of hitting there from Brophy at the dish. Now, Jensen throws the ball outside. That one a couple inches off the plate. Ball 1 to Campbell. Taylor Campbell, third baseman and the junior, stepping in for the Blue Wave. Jensen the delivery and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. A man on first and second for the Blue Wave. You know, coming into this position, right, you're Campbell. You have runners in scoring position. Ducks on the pond. That one fielded.
Jensen looking a little rattled, though. Looking like he can't find the zone. He 2-1 the count, but he's throwing 2 pretty wild pitches on those. Great plays by the catcher, keeping in front of the ball, not letting anything slide. Can't let these runners advance here.
Jensen, the delivery, fastball. Nothing but heat. There, throws it right past Campbell.
Made some contact there, but just not enough. Tips back into the catcher's glove, but not 2 strikes, so it's not going to be an out there.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Campbell. Jensen, the fastball lined right into center field. Good piece of hitting by Campbell. The throw from Benevento to Delicata. That one's a good kind of pickoff, not pickoff. My apologies. Great job from the New Canaan defense to kind of recover right and don't let that ball sit in center field. The Blue Wave with bases loaded and 1 out, top of the second. Jensen finds himself in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, and, you know, a seasoned coach like Mike Scott, 15 seasons, I think he did some research, saw Benevento's in center field, maybe held Spellman there, didn't, because he knows he's got a big arm. Looked like he was going to go, but, you know, Benevento fielded that cleanly and threw it in and maybe just saved a run there.
Yeah, with that throw, that was heated into the catcher. I mean, that thing was lasered. Spellman looked like he did not have a chance to make it home. You didn't want to take any risks. Rather have your guys getting ready for a potential Jack Knee grand slam here.
Here is Tyler up at the dish. Number 27 for the Blue Wave. That one delivered. Good piece of hitting from the Blue Wave. That one will plate 1. Plating Spellman. Jensen giving up the early run, and we got to take a look at where this all started, right from the error at first base. From Delicata, put one on, and then good piece of hitting from the Blue Wave.
Yeah, like you said, errors have just been killing New Canaan this year, and that's what led to this hot bats by the Blue Wave. And now we have the captain, Owen Tyler, trying to continue that streak, maybe score a couple base runners. In the last DAF broadcast, Owen Tyler hit a walk-off single in the bottom of the 9th to beat Stanford 7-6. He had that clutch gene. He's looking to continue that hot streak.
Owen Tyler not able to catch up to the fastball. There, no balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out for Jensen, trying to wiggle his way out of the bases loaded jam here. Jensen, the delivery. A fastball off the plate, ball 1.
Got to think Jensen on that one is not throwing that thing near the strike zone. Bases loaded, Owen Tyler up at bat, 0-2 count. He's just trying to keep it safe, try to get Owen to reach on one of these pitches, trying to get him to be a little ambitious and get a runner out here.
Jensen gets the contact. Somer's going to flip it over to Silva, who throws it over to Delicata. Only able to get the runner at second. Good job from Owen Tyler to run that one out, avoid the double play. And a good job from the Blue Wave, right? Put the ball in play, score that runner at third. Now a runner on first and third, runners on the corners.
Yeah, exactly. Even though Owen did cause an out, he scored a run, and that's way more valuable. And now you have the top of the order in Dominic Zawacki to the plate, and Dom's looking to, in the first inning, he had a ground out to third base, just missed, just didn't beat the throw out. And Owen is going to go. The throw. Oh, and that's way over.
That's way out of the park.
And Hoffman throws it right over all the New Canaan defenders' heads, in which it's picked up by Benevento in center field. That'll score the run. And the Blue Wave plating 3 runs here in this second inning, find themselves up 3-2-0. And Jensen in a 1-ball, no strike count with the first batter in that Blue Wave lineup.
And I feel like as a catcher, you can't do that to your pitcher, making costly errors. Maybe just hold on to that next time, not throw it down to second base, even with 2 outs, because one bad throw let the runner on third base come home and score. And that's another run that could bite New Canaan by the end of the game.
And that last pitch, right, brought over the Darien Blue Wave runner from second to third, advanced him off a little bit of a pitch that Hoffman wasn't able to corral a pitch from Jensen.
Dom Zawacki, the senior captain, certainly an experienced batter, up 2-1 in the count with a runner on third now. You got to guess he's just going to try to play this smart and find a way to get Owen Tyler home.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blue Wave tacking on 3 runs in the bottom of the second against Jack Jensen. Jack Jensen off speed, decides to go off speed on the 2-2 pitch. Ball 3.
And like you said, David, Dominic Zawacki has been on this varsity team since freshman year. Probably the most experienced guy on this team, and I wouldn't want anyone up to bat in this position.
Zawacki gets rung up from a fastball at the knees from Jensen. The Rams going from the field to the dugout. We'll see if they can bring up some offense in the top of this third. We'll be back here on the DAF Media Network in just a few short seconds. Top of the third here at Darien High. The Rams down by 3, but now an opportunity to get those 3 runs back that they just gave up in the bottom of the second. The 9-hitter for the Rams, Benny Hegel, coming up to the plate, followed by the 1-hitter, Jack Sheffield. The delivery from Easterbrook, that's going to be popped up by Hegel. That one goes out of play. No ball, 1 strike. Easterbrook attacking the zone here early on against this new Canaan lineup. Not scared to put the ball in the box.
No, and the Darien hitters are really helping out Easterbrook. As a pitcher, having a nice lead is really going to make you more relaxed, more reliable on your better pitches, and I think it will go better for Easterbrook. He's going to have a better time. He's been pitching well. Only has 2 hits on the day. Yeah.
Fouled off that one by Benevento. Easterbrook goes with some off-speed stuff. That one, a curveball, going to be grounded back to the pitcher. And he'll make the out at first.
Easterbrook showing off the athleticism there, doing a little hop like a bunny, getting up there and throwing that ball over to first for the easy out.
Easterbrook helping himself out there in the field. Fields that ground ball. 1 out. That's going to bring up the top of this new Canaan order. Jack Sheffield, the senior captain, followed by Thomas Schulman, the 2-hitter. Then maybe Alex Benevento. Sheffield acting like he was going to bunt. Throws down the fake bunt there.
An interesting strategy from Sheffield, though, with no runners on there, no?
No, he's trying to get some runners on. You know, instead of advancing runner, he's trying to get on base. You know, the Rams haven't really found any offense, as that one was delivered, ball 1. The Rams haven't found any offense these first 2 innings. You know, going through kind of the motions, not able to get anyone on base. They have been making contact against Easterbrook. Just the balls have been finding the fielder's mitts.
Yeah, it's just incredible fielding play from Darien really here in this game. They're not really letting anything past them, no errors, just a clean, collected game, not letting anything happen really here.
New Canaan already has 2 errors in the score sheet. And a 2-1 count for Easterbrook. 2 balls, 1 strike. The delivery. Off-speed stuff. Ball, strike 2. Evens it up at 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Sheffield in a 2-strike approach here, right? He's going to shorten up the swing and just try to make contact. Jack Sheffield in the box. And Easterbrook steps off.
Yeah, and those errors by New Canaan have really been the difference in this game. You go back to that error by the first baseman. That maybe a butterfly effect led to a bunch of Darien runs, and maybe if he makes that out, it's a scoreless inning for New Canaan, and it's a whole different game.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Easterbrook. Blue Wave up 3-0 in the rivalry matchup. The delivery from Easterbrook, that one inside, almost hits Sheffield. But he stays in the box. Ball 3, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jack Sheffield, the left fielder for the Rams, in the box. Delivery from Easterbrook, fastball.
Hitting our DAF Media camera up on top of the dugout. New Canaan's taking it a little personally here.
Sheffield ahead of that one, the fastball. We'll see if he decides, if Easterbrook decides to go off speed, but I'd expect Easterbrook, right, to just keep on pounding the zone with the fastballs. Against Jack Sheffield, 3-2 count, goes off speed, and Sheffield gets a piece of that one.
And he's really staying alive and building that pitch count for Easterbrook, and that's not what you want to do as a pitcher, is continue to keep on pitching in such an early inning in the third, because those pitches are going to add up and it's going to wear you down.
Good job, though, from New Canaan, right? Extend your at-bats. That one fouled off directly and back towards that long outfield, or behind them to the long fence.
And this is the 9th pitch of the at-bat.
9th pitch of the at-bat. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sheffield at the plate. And he goes down. A change-up down low, below the knees. Gets Jack Sheffield. Now 0 for 2 on the day. A little bit of frustration mounting for the Rams. Tommy Schulman stepping up to the plate.
Big at bat there for sure for Easterbrook. Just fighting for it mentally almost. If you're in a battle like that, you never want to lose after it goes to that many pitches for sure. Otherwise, it'd just be a waste of all that.
Here is Schulman up in the box. Delivery from Easterbrook. And Schulman takes it for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And 2 outs in the top of the third. The Blue Wave still up by 3. 3-2-0. And if you missed it, right, the bottom of the second, Blue Wave built some offense and put together a couple of singles. That one sent into center field, just on the edge of the infield grass. Caught by the Blue Wave second baseman. Now Schulman 0 for 2 on the day. But coming up next at the top of the fourth for the Rams will be Alex Benevento, followed by Michael Marciano.
And I think that Darien benefits for Alex Benevento being at the top of the inning, because he's a guy who's going to hit it he's going to hit the ball, and having base runners on, there's more likely that they're going to score. And him just being the only batter up, it's going to lower your chances that New Canaan gets a first run on the board.
Jensen going out back for the bottom of the third after giving up 3 runs in the second. You know, you got to kind of wipe away that inning, erase that inning from the memory, and kind of get back into the rhythm of things. You saw him find his rhythm in that first inning, mowing down the top of this Darien lineup. And for the Blue Wave, right, up first will be Teddy Smolsky, followed by Leo Zawacki and Merritt Hull. So the 2-3-4 hitters for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, strong lineup coming up for Jensen to face here for sure. I mean, Leo Zawacki, Dom's brother, they're both great batters for Blue Wave. As Cooper mentioned earlier, the only batter on Darien with a home run this year, so definitely has that potential to hit it out of the park. And then you got Merritt Hull after him. Merritt Hull is strong, big guy, strong guy. He can make you pay. And then coming up after that, we got Tyler Spellman too. He's going to be a great batter for them. Forced the error earlier that led to that Darien great run.
The Blue Wave now seeing Jensen for the second time. All of these guys, he's gone through the entire order once. That one hit on the ground over to Silva. Silva going to make the play. Throws it over to first. Over to Delicata and gets him out, but it looked like Smosky almost beat him out.
Yeah, Teddy really took advantage of that first pitch, trying to continue that momentum maybe. You know, just misses it out, but now you have Leo Zawacki up to the plate, trying to regain the momentum that was maybe lost, and get Darien back on base.
Jensen able to get the first out of the inning thanks to fielding help from Silva. Delivers the first pitch. That's a strike. No balls, 1 strike in, 1 out. Blue Wave up 3-0. And Merritt Hole. That's actually Leo Zawacki stepping into the box for the Blue Wave. The delivery on the off-speed pitch was outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. That one a fastball. Ripped, but foul from Zawacki. Ripped down the third baseline, but just out of play.
And the ump is checking the ball. Maybe saw something he didn't like.
Jensen on the bump for the Rams. You mentioned he's 3-0 on the season, compiling lots and lots of strikeouts, kind of become their reliant pitcher. Coming into this game, he pitched 21 2/3 innings, had a record of 3-0, only allowed 8 hits, and had 35 strikeouts. So it's not typical for for a pitcher of Jensen's caliber, right, to give up a couple of early runs, but he did. And that one line into right field. Sheffield on the chase. Catches that one. Zawacki not able to get all of that one. That would be a line out into right field.
Once again, though, Darien really is making contact with Jensen's pitches here. That one almost dropped. Jensen's got to be a little worried if Darien can make this much contact earlier. As he's get deeper into his pitch count, you got to see what Darien's going to be able to do to him.
Yeah, and they're all seeing him for the second time, right? So they know kind of what to expect when they step up into the box. So he's going to have to change things up, right? He can't throw the same stuff he did in their first at-bats. Now stepping in for the Blue Wave is Merritt Hole. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. A fastball. Not able to clip the outside corner. And that's ball 2. Jensen, the fastball. Diving play from Somers. Throws it over to Delicata.
Oh.
And they call him safe, but what a play from Somers. Able to recover fielding. And the range of Somers being tested out there as he was sprawled out. And able to recover quickly, throw it over to first, and had a shot at getting Hole, but Hole beats it out.
Somers went for the full extend there, the Superman catch, and he went down. He rifled it into first, but Merritt, unfortunately, was just there to get past it. Would have been the highlight play of summer season, probably.
And Somers almost had him. It looked like Hole beat him out by maybe just a step. And so now Tyler Spellman, the junior, will come up with Hole on first base, 2 outs, and a clean count. Quick pickoff attempt.
And Tyler Spellman is the batter who started all that damage in the second inning. He's the one who grounded it to first, obviously the error, but he got on base nonetheless. And that really led to another Sean Brophy single, and then the damage was done, and Darien just kept on battling and hitting, and runs piled up, and it's 3-0.
Almost got him there. Jensen throwing over to Delicata at first, but you mentioned the Blue Wave, right? The bottom of the order started their 3-run rally. It wasn't the top of the order that got on against Jensen early. It was the bottom. It was the 6, 7, 8 guys for the Blue Wave. Ground ball over to Somers. Just going to flip it to Silva at shortstop at second. And that'll end the inning. Rams with another 0. So they give them none in the first, none in the third, but 3 in the second, making it 3-0. The Blue Wave will be back in just a couple minutes for the top of the 4th. And welcome back here at Darien High School for the top of the 4th inning. Alex Benevento facing Easterbrook, and Easterbrook did something his first at-bat that doesn't happen often for Benevento. He struck out Benevento for his 3rd time on the season. The senior captain batting .750 with lots of RBIs and lots of homers. And most guys try to avoid Benevento right inside the box, try to throw kind of around him, but Easterbrook attacked him right away, and I think it might have caught him a little bit off guard.
Yeah, Easterbrook is definitely a confident pitcher. We can see that just by the way he's been handling these batters today. He's not throwing away from them. He looks like he's attacking them, throwing it right at them. And he wants to make a statement, let them know that he's there and he's going to strike him out today.
Benevento early on the fastball. And that's fouled to the left side, over to the left of the third base.
And Easterbrook doing a good job staying ahead in the count, and that's what I think you have to do against Benevento. Not let him work the count and you have to throw maybe some easier pitches for him to hit, because that's where he strives, in hitting those pitches and making the pitcher pay.
And watch for the off-speed pitches that Easterbrook threw quite often to Benevento in that first at-bat, and that's what most pitchers have been doing. They've either been throwing off-speed pitches or intentionally walking Benevento because he's such a threat at the dish. Here is Alex Benevento, the senior captain, committed to Brown, star on the football field, a star on the baseball field. Easterbrook the delivery, that one low. Ball 2-2.
And when you're ahead in the count, you can kind of have those pitches, trying to make Benevento maybe swing and miss, catch him off guard, because you don't want to put a ball where he can make contact and make you pay for it.
Benevento there grounds it again to the left side. Benevento definitely early on the fastball from Easterbrook. Easterbrook still pitching. He's had a really good game so far, right? He's mowing down New Canaan hitters. He's allowed 0 runs in the first 3 innings and finds himself with a little bit of wiggle room, right? You're up 3-0. Now it will be a 2-2 count, so you still have another pitch that you could give. Easterbrook throws the off-speed stuff, a curveball, gets him on the outside part of the plate. Benevento 0 for 2.
Easterbrook got him again there, something that's probably not happened all season here. Once, as you mentioned, just 2 strikeouts on the year. He looks a little bit disgruntled there walking away from the home plate. I mean, this is not a good game for him, especially against in a big rivalry matchup. You're looking to make Darien pay, let him know you're here. You've been dreaming about this since you were a kid, and he's not shown up today. Yeah,
and coming into this game, 2 strikeouts, and he's already got 2 in this game. I mean, maybe Darien has some motivation because, you know, as you said, Benevento, he kind of worked them last year, and also in football, scoring a lot of touchdowns in the Turkey Bowl and in the state championship. You know, Darien really wants to punish Benevento and not let him get the better of him in this game.
Easterbrook missed with the first pitch curveball, and then missed with the second pitch. It was high and away. It was a fastball to Henry Silva, the Colby commit, the 3-hitter on this Rams team. Easterbrook definitely has to feel confident with his stuff right now and has a lot of control, right? We've seen the accuracy kind of play a factor. He's been throwing in the zone, not a lot of errant wild pitches. As Easterbrook delivers as that one, a curveball in the other batter's box, but 2 balls, 1 strike. I apologize, 3 balls and 1 strike now for Easterbrook. Silva finds himself with the advantage, and Silva knows he has to throw him a strike here, so he's going to look to attack the fastball, and he does just that, but he pops it up.
Just got under that one, and Dom Zawacki is going to make the play to get the second out in the inning. That kind of seems like the theme of this game, you know. New Canaan is getting some contact on the ball, but they really haven't put anything in play, kind of getting under it, maybe getting some easy outs for the outfielders or the fielders at all.
Yeah, they've definitely gotten under the ball a lot as Adrian Delicata takes the first ball high and away, up and away. For Adrian Delicata having a sophomore breakout season this year. Delicata takes ball 2, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes for the sophomore in the dish against Eastbrook.
You got to say, New Canaan must be feeling a little worn down here. Their bench has been a lot quieter this inning. They're not chirping Easterbrook as much because he's been having their number right now. And as I say that, it goes straight into center field. Teddy Smosky stumbles a little bit there, can't make the catch.
Yeah, it looked like Smosky with a little bit of an issue kind of judging where the ball was going to land, right? It looked like he was charging in and then saw the ball come at him, then tried to back up a little bit, almost fell over, but recovered. Good single right up the middle for Delicata. And if you're Coach Tisha and Coach DeVito on the New Canaan Rams coaching staff, you have to be happy, right? Singles up the middle are what you want. You timed it up perfectly. And a good hit by Marciano. That's going to split the gap in between left and center. Marciano going to third, and they decide to hold Delicata at third. And a double for Marciano, and that's how it starts. It starts from one hit, moving on to the next, and a little bit of momentum for New Canaan here. A man on second now and third, working some counts against Easterbrook, and now Easterbrook in a little bit of a situation, but he does have 2 outs, and Jack Somers is up. The only one who got a hit his first time up was Jack Somers, the single to right field.
Once again, though, it's just New Canaan's bottom of the lineup getting it done, just like Darien, starting the spark for them. And we're going to see if they're going to capitalize here with 2 runners in scoring position. Easterbrook's got to be a little nervous, but he has the 2 outs. He's got to look to get an easy strikeout here.
That one taking a fastball high up in the zone. Somers takes ball 1. But you mentioned, right, David, both of the bottom of these lineups have been on it today this second time around, working against Jensen and Easterbrook. Kind of putting counts together, taking pitches. That's a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Somers takes strike 1. And again, New Canaan's just working counts here, right? They're making Easterbrook throw pitches.
Yeah, and like we said, one hit can really throw a pitcher off his game. That one hit, and then it leads to a double, and now you got runners on second and third, and one hit into the outfield. This could be a 3-2 game.
Yeah, singles should plate 2 if you're New Canaan. You got to think, right? Marciano's fast on second. Delicata automatically will score at third. Somers at the dish. Fastball. Fouls it off back, but definitely a big-time situation to kind of gain some of those runs back after losing 3 in the bottom of the second to the Blue Wave off a couple of errors. But New Canaan has some momentum to build off of here.
But Easterbrook just needs to stay focused. He's got 2 outs, 2 strikes. He just needs to get this batter out. Can't really focus on the runners on second and third. It's mainly about getting this batter out and striking him out or either getting an easy out.
Easterbrook with the delivery. Check swing from Somers. Looks like it almost hit him on the hand, but instead just hits the bat.
Somers stepping out of the box there. He looked a little rattled after that last pitch. Wonder if he's going to be able to come back in, regain his composure, and get a nice hit here off Easterbrook.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs, so a lot of 2s on the scoreboard right now. Easterbrook, the delivery to Soma. That ball smacked, but right at the center fielder. And if you're Somers, you're a little bit frustrated, but again, good contact and lots of power. That ball almost reached the warning track in left field, but definitely some momentum to build off of, right? You put the bat on the ball a couple of times, a single up the middle, and then you get the ball in between the gaps. So the gap shot from Marciano. And now you just got to play another good inning in the field and then get back to work at the plate.
New Canaan really has been lighting up Easterbrook, hitting the ball hard, making good contact. They're just getting a little unlucky now. They've had about 2 or 3 hits now going all the way to the warning track. It just seems like Darien is always there, just hanging in the air for just that little bit too long.
Yeah, you mentioned, right, New Canaan putting a lot of bat on ball. We've seen it. We've heard it a lot tonight, right? Great job from the Rams. They just haven't been able to find the spots. And you see that sometimes in baseball, right? You get a lot of good hits. They're just not finding the right areas. And that's what happens. Sometimes the balls are hit right at fielders, which we've seen multiple times tonight. But Jensen back on the bump after giving up those 3 runs in the second inning, right? He settled things down in the third. Got the outs quickly, and he's in there for the 4th. And it'll be interesting to see as this game goes on if Jensen gets stronger against the Blue Wave lineup. And if the Blue Wave lineup, right, starts putting things together, coming through the lineup a second and a third time, those pitchers have to mix things up because obviously the batters are seeing them for the second and third time. And so we'll see what Jensen decides to do here, but he's definitely mixed it up a lot tonight, leaning on that fastball and then the change up, some off-speed stuff, and mixing things in.
Up to bat is number 10, Sean Brophy. Sean Brophy had a single in the second, which led to, and he also scored. He was really a key contributor to that second inning spark that got Darien the 3-run lead.
Brophy took the first fastball, which was a ball, but that second one right in there for strike one. One ball, one strike, and no outs. And no one on. Brophy at the dish delivery. Outside from Jensen, ball 2.
And how do you think a player like Sean Brophy can continue that momentum that he has with that second inning hit and just continue to spark the bats?
Well, Brophy there takes the fastball inside. But Brophy's definitely a little bit confident, right, in his abilities, right? He got the first hit of the day for, or one of the first hits on the day for the Blue Wave, the single against Jensen. At a fastball, misses high.
And Brophy's running down to first. He's excited to be on first again. Maybe he's gonna steal. Who knows? Brophy, he's speedster. He can get it done on the bases.
And Jensen
just says no. Maybe he heard you talk about him trying to steal the second, but immediately Sean Brophy's just sent straight back down to that first base.
Well, that's one thing we've seen tonight, right? Both pitchers keeping the runners close. The delivery from Jensen. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. But again, going back, right? Easterbrook and Jensen have picked off numerous times, sometimes picking off multiple times in a row and not throwing a pitch. Jensen on the delivery, fastball outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Brophy on first.
And this Darien bench has some life in them. You know, they're maybe in the second inning, they're very enthusiastic. Third kind of quieted them down, but now they're all standing up. In the fourth, they're all yelling, trying to get the pitcher off his game. You know, led by captain. I hear Dominic Zawacki really chirping, and there goes Sean Brophy.
Hoffman with the dime. Right to second, over to Silva. Silva slipped. Looked like he might have blocked the base pass a little bit. Strike 3, but great shoot by Hoffman. That's the 6th guy he's thrown out tonight. Or not tonight, on the season. But a little bit of defense there for guys that like defense. You know, we haven't seen a lot of offense tonight, but a great job from Hoffman there to throw down.
Yeah, amazing job by Hoffman. You know, if Sean Brophy gets to second base, obviously Taylor Campbell just walked. It's first and second, and now the pitcher is in a really hard position with 0 outs, but instead only a runner on first and 1 out. So, and now with Jack Nee up to bat, he's going to try and move the base runners.
Yeah, and I would definitely not want to steal against Hoffman there behind the dish. He just threw out Brophy. Really quick pop time and on his feet. Aware now you got Campbell at first, and up at the plate is Jack Nee. But again, just Hoffman just threw out Brophy. Unfortunately, we don't get the replay.
Jensen looks like he's taking a page out of Easterbrook's book here. You just keeping him at first, really pressuring him to stay close to the bag. He doesn't want any more people trying to steal, especially have that error from the catcher. Even though he did have a great throw there to get out Sean Brophy on that attempted steal.
That one high, and a ball, 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out.
Yeah, Hoffman kind of redeemed himself in the second inning. He kind of had an error, which led to a Darien run, but picking off Sean, you know, kind of redemption for him.
Yeah, strike 1 there delivered. 2 balls, 1 strike, but going back right, he did redeem himself. He threw the ball into center field with runners on the corners. A questionable throw down. Bloss has a lot of faith in the young catcher and his arm. That one, a ball, 3 balls, and 1 strike. But I talked to Coach Bloss, and he talked about just the defense and how good defensively Maddox Hoffman is as Jensen picks off towards first, towards Campbell for, I believe, the 3rd time this at-bat.
And Jensen looks a little off his game, you know. He's throwing pitches wild.
And a great job framing that pitch there.
Yeah, Jack Nee looked like he wanted that ball for.
Jack Nee started to take off down that first baseline. A couple times this has happened to the Darien batters where they're thinking one thing and that the umps just send them right back to the plate.
And that's one thing that, well, you know, growing up playing baseball, I played a lot of baseball, which I don't know if you guys knew, and you guys played some baseball as well, but coaches always told me with 3 balls, you never want to go towards first. You never want to take that step towards first when you don't know if it's going to be a ball or a strike, because sometimes umps just ring you up because you're already headed towards first, or sometimes they call that strike. As we'll see, Coach Gallo, the pitching coach for this Rams team, go out there and kind of talk with Jensen, settle things down. But he just walked 2 guys, runners on first and second for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, and talk about baseball. My brother, Carson Kelly, the captain a couple years ago, shout out to him and all of his brothers down at UConn watching the game. He told me how important it is to keep the base runners on the base, you know, like not make any errors or stupid mistakes. Sean Brophy obviously getting picked off wasn't the smartest thing he could have done, but with Jenkins pitching kind of wild and not really on his game, I think the most important thing is to do is kind of play it safe and let the pitcher make the mistakes, not the hitters or the runners.
You can see an interesting formation from the Rams defense here. They're going to protect against the sack bunt. Delicata playing in on Owen Tyler. Owen Tyler, number 15 for the Blue Wave, up at the dish, but an interesting formation. You know, you got Thomas Schulman at third playing just about on the line. You got the middle infielders back in Silva and Somers, and then Delicata playing up close. Ground ball to Silva. They're going to turn to Silva over to Somers. Somers decides to hold it. Looked like he caught the ball and knew he didn't have a chance on Owen Tyler, who was sprinting down that first base line. But that's exactly why you have those 2 middle infielders back, is for that ground ball to shortstop. Jensen doing a great job. They got exactly what they wanted to. They just not able to catch the speedy legs of Owen Tyler.
Yeah, and that's the second time he's done that. Second time he's been up to bat with a runner on first, and they've gotten the guy out at second. But, you know, he's got those wheels that don't let New Canaan turn the double play and get out of this inning. And now...
And a pump fake from Hoffman right over to third. Again, a defensive masterclass from Hoffman over to Schulman. Freshman to sophomore. Catcher to third base. And they got the runner on third, the Blue Wave runner, who looked like he was going to break towards home. Once they threw down Hoffman, threw down to second. Great play draw up from Coach Tisha, Coach DeVito, and head coach Bloss. Great job from the New Canaan defense there, getting Jensen out of the situation. The runner's on the corner. And what a play.
And an unfortunate mistake there by Taylor Campbell. You know, you can't do that with 2 outs. You can't get out because that's a momentum killer. You know, they had runners on the corners, and it looked like Dominic Zawacki could have sent him home, but, you know, that just ends the inning. And, you know, maybe he could have scored there if Dominic put the ball in play. But, you know, now we won't know, and can't have those mistakes in close games like these.
And that was after the lineup turned over for the Blue Wave, right? So you saw Zawacki up at the dish, so he'll come back out. He'll be at the plate to start off the bottom of the 5th for the lineup for the Blue Wave, but for the Rams up. Now you have Maddox Hoffman, who just put on the defensive masterclass behind the dish. So the catcher, the freshman, and the 8-hitter, followed by 9-hitter Benny Hegel, who's out in right field today. And then the New Canaan lineup will switch over to Jack Sheffield.
New Canaan here definitely looking to get some runs back against Easterbrook. Last inning, they made a lot of good contact, getting some deep shots down to outfield, but they just couldn't once again get it to drop in the right spot. But Easterbrook here, he's going to be looking to keep the score, keep a scoreless game going. But New Canaan, they just need to keep going. They need to find that stroke. They need to get the balls to drop, and they'll be out here, and they could try to get back into it this inning.
Yeah, maybe the New Canaan Rams can mount some offense. You know, they gave up 3 runs in the second, but both teams really playing a clean game so far. You mentioned New Canaan has 2 errors, but the Blue Wave have none. A really great defensive performance and pitching performance from Tyler Easterbrook so far. Just striking out Alex Benevento twice, you know, throwing pitches in the zone and making the Rams make contact and having faith in his fielders, right? The fielders on the Blue Wave making the plays they've needed. And Easterbrook comes out to shoot down during warm-ups and ready for the top of the fifth, guys.
Yeah, and like you said, no errors by Darien on the score sheet, but maybe some errors that aren't going to show up on the base pads, and that's kind of affected them. So both teams have been playing good defense and offense, but they've had costly mistakes that may end up costing them this win.
Darien so far, none that have costed them showing up to get enough to get a run on the board for New Canaan. They've really been composed out there. They had that one play by Smosky, which was a little unlucky for him, just reading the ball wrong, but nothing too much came out of it, just a mere single. And they're just going to look to keep this clean streak going.
Easterbrook delivered the first pitch of the top of the fifth. That was an off-speed pitch to Hoffman on the outside part of the plate. Caught it. The corner. Strike one. Easterbrook on the delivery. Another off-speed pitch. And ball one. One ball, one strike, and no outs.
And like you said, Hoffman, the sophomore, kind of the opposite of Darien. They don't have many underclassmen, 7 seniors and 14 juniors. So they're kind of in their prime, you could say, to win a championship. And the out is made by the right fielder, Merritt Hole, to get the first out of the inning.
Good piece of contact there from Hoffman, but that ball skied into right field, caught by Hole. And another good defensive play from the Blue Wave. Hole making the routine fly ball catch. And that'll bring up the 9-hitter, Benny Hegel, for the New Canaan Rams. Easterbrook on the delivery. That ball tagged by Benny Hegel. He'll use his legs, get down, and that's a tough play for the Blue Wave defense. That deep kind of ground ball towards short when you're playing far back. Not hit exceptionally hard from Hegel, but Hegel's also got speed, making it down the line, beating out the throw, and gets over to first.
Leo Zawacki there just couldn't turn his hips and make the throw in time. All the way across the infield, going across his body with his momentum shift the other way. One of the hardest throws in baseball for sure, and New Canaan capitalized on that.
Yeah, like you said, Leo Zawacki not getting that out, but he did save maybe an extra base hit, which could benefit Darien and help them in this inning.
Yeah, and then over at first, Tyler Spellman bailed out his fielder as he had a good pick over, but another pickoff attempt from Easterbrook. Trying to get Benny Hegel. Benny Hegel, a threat on the base pass, we'll see. Picking him off again. And if you're a runner on first base, you have to expect that you're going to have to get back to the bag at least once.
At times in this game, it feels like we're seeing more pickoffs than pitches thrown from the pitchers here. They're really looking to keep those runners tight to the base and not let any steals let up.
Jack Sheffield takes ball 2, the senior captain for the Rams. 0 for 2 on the day, but looking to find maybe some bat-on-ball action here. And some contact. Another pickoff attempt from Easterbrook. Over, trying to get Hegel at first.
It appears like both pitchers are saying if you're going to get to second base, you're going to earn it in the batter's box. They don't want anyone getting down to that second base, getting to that second base.
Easterbrook, the delivery on the pitch, fastball in the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Beautiful
1
pitch
out.
there from Easterbrook. And talking about throwing it to first base, he keeps on trying. He's trying to get that first pickoff. Hasn't been successful. New Canaan, however, has. They've gotten 2 outs on the base pads. Maybe Darien and Easterbrook are trying to emulate that and catch maybe New Canaan sleeping on the base pads.
Here's Easterbrook again on the bump. Sheffield with a fake bunt attempt. 3 balls, 1 strike, the delivery. And that's a fastball for strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strike. The count is full with 1 out and Benny Hegel on first.
Easterbrook once again getting deep into the count. Oh, and he throws over to first base, trying to pick off the runner again. Not even close, though.
You got to think he hesitated a little bit, though, because he didn't throw entirely. He stopped his motion a little bit.
Threw a soft little blooper over to Spellman.
Sheffield digging in for the full count. Easterbrook the delivery. And that is ball 4. Gives Sheffield his base. Man on first and second for the Rams. And this is where if you're Coach Bloss, you're Coach Tisha, right, you're happy with the position you're in. You have a man on first and second, 1 out, in the top of your order up. That was the one hitter. Jack Sheffield drew the walk. And then you have Thomas Schulman here, the two-hitter, followed by Alex Benevento. And it seems like opportunities always come to Alex Benevento when he goes up in the plate with runners on. And even Thomas Schulman having a really good season so far.
Looks like the coach are going to want to talk to Easterbrook. And I just want to go back. Jack Nee making a awareness play right there. Obviously, the man on first started going, but noticing that it's ball 4 and not making that throw that could go in an error like Hoffman made in the second that could let the runner on second maybe go to third.
Yeah, Nee showing his experience as a catcher here. His second year on varsity, gained the starting position part of the way through last season. He's making sure he tries to play the game smart. He's good at framing. He's a great catcher overall, and he's even shown he's got some good bats today.
The delivery there, that one will be ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the .375 hitter in Thomas Schulman. Thomas Schulman up at the dish. Darien's defense on their toes. That ball taken, that was a strike delivered from the hand of Easterbrook. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
And John, as a previous baseball player, when the coaches go up and talk to you on the bump, what do you think they're telling them in this situation?
Just settle things down, right, relax. You've already had a good day so far. Just keep throwing strikes. That's the most important thing. As another strike fouled off by Schulman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But you have to throw strikes to these guys, right? Otherwise, you're just going to end up walking them and throwing strikes, right? You want to force contact. You have faith in your defense. Your defense has done a great job today so far, making the plays that they've needed. Here's Thomas Schulman digging in. 2 strikes. Ball 2. Fastball up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You got to think, right, if they walk Thomas Schulman here, you got to wonder what the coaching staff is going to do, if they're going to keep in Easterbrook and have him ride it out, or if they're going to bring in a bullpen arm. We see no one warming up in the Blue Wave bullpen arm, so I think they have faith in Easterbrook.
Yeah, Easterbrook today definitely does seem to have Benevento's number 2, striking him out 2 times today, making sure that he's letting one of the best players in the state know that he's there and he's not afraid to throw him some strikes and get him out.
And Thomas Schulman doing the smart thing there, right? Stepping out, applying more pressure to Easterbrook. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Schulman calling for a time. Now he's back in the box. Easterbrook, the 2-2 delivery. And that is ball 3 on the outside part of the plate, a fastball.
You got to wonder what's going through Easterbrook's head here as he's on the mound in the 3-2 count. 2 runners on. Benevento coming up next, the best hitter for New Canaan. How's he going to try to get him out here? Really would be costly to let up a hit here.
Schulman fouls that one off to the left side.
And I think that Darien is maybe hoping for a double play here, so you don't get the hitter in Benevento, the best on the team, up with the bases loaded, because that's not what you want, because 1 swing of the bat and this can be a tied game.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Man on second and first for the Rams. Schulman gonna rip a single there, fielded at third. They're gonna try to turn 2.
And they do.
Just like Cooper Kelly called it, a double play for the Blue Wave, gets out of the inning and gets Benevento to knock him up, makes Benevento become another leadoff batter and doesn't let him go up with runners in scoring position.
And that ball lined a hot shot to the third baseman. I mean, they call third base one of the most dangerous positions in baseball besides catcher, because that ball comes right at you. You don't have time like you do at short or second, right? That ball comes right at you at third. And what a play from the third baseman there, and then Smart throwing it right to second. You can't call that a base running issue because, but that play happened so quickly, right? It happened in the blink of an eye, and then it was thrown over to second. Darien turns 2 and gets their pitcher, Easterbrook, out of the inning. Benevento stranded on deck.
Yeah, Taylor Campbell, a terrific fielder, showing off a little spidey sense there, just making, as you said, that snap reaction, not letting anything happen for New Canaan, and that was a huge play for Darien to get him out of that inning.
And I just want to add, you're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. And I want to give a special shout out to our crew, Harris Cavana directing, Jack Kinney on our graphics, And obviously, I'm joined with David Popson and John Frieders.
And Damian Andrews, the DAF Media advisor.
Can't forget about him.
Never forget about Damian Andrews.
As well as Mr. Ferguson, who helped out with the setup as well. And guys, I'm glad we're here, right? Great weather here for the New Canaan-Darien rivalry. They've met on the lacrosse fields already, and they tied in the girls' game. Then New Canaan took the boys' game. They've met on the volleyball court where Darien came out victorious. They'll meet on the track next Monday. And now they meet on the field in both baseball and softball. Darien up 3-0 here. No balls, 1 strike delivered in the delivery. And that one grounded to the left of third.
And I mean, there's no better place I'd rather be on this Wednesday. It's the 1st of May, you know, watching Darien versus New Canaan, a great rivalry. And Darien just looking to continue their hot streak, trying to get to 10 wins, which would be huge for them. They're looking to go to the FCIAC tournament, something they haven't done.
As that ball, I'll have to stop you. Ground ball fielded from Silva, throws it over, gets a little bit of help from Delicata as he picks it for the first out of the inning on Zawacki.
Yeah.
My apologies, Zawacki. So that was the 1-hitter for the Blue Wave. Now you'll have the 2-hitter and the 3-hitter. So the top of the order seeing Jensen for the 3rd time. And really, the bottom of the order are the guys that scored those 3 runs for the Blue Wave. You mentioned like the 6, 7, 8 guys. That ball is blocked by Hoffman, a pitch in the dirt.
And the struggles continue for Dom Zawacki. 0 for 3 right now. You know, that 1-hitter is usually supposed to be that guy who's going to start the inning off hot, get on base, but, you know, he hasn't had success. And Darien has really had to rely on the bottom of the order, like you said. Let's see if Teddy Smosky can get the bats going.
Yeah, mentioning Dominic Zawacki here with a rough day today, he needs to be the guy to get on base because, as we mentioned earlier, he has that national runner speed. He can make it to second before the catcher can even bat an eye with that level of speed on the plate.
2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out here. Bottom of the 5th inning at Darien High School. Smosky faking the bunt. Definitely a close call there. They're going to say, the umpire's going to say that that's 3 balls and 1 strike. That was a ball. Definitely a questionable call, maybe. Could have been a strike. Jensen still on the bump working. I mentioned both starting pitchers in the duel here, still on the mound for their respective teams. Jensen for the Rams and Easterbrook for the Blue Wave. That was strike 2. Full count here. Jensen, the delivery. That's a strike. Fastball fielded by Delicata. That's what he was trying to do when he made the error. Makes the clean play there.
Yeah, clean play from Delicata. Definitely seemed like he learned from his mistake earlier of trying to swipe up that glove, but he just stayed calm, relaxed, and made the easy play at first base, not letting anything get going for Darien here.
The 1 and 2 hitters for the Blue Wave have gotten out. Jensen throwing strikes here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and as this game progresses, right, that's kind of one sign to look at in terms of whether your starting pitcher's doing well, is if they can consistently locate the ball inside the zone. And Jensen's done just that in the bottom of the 5th. The 0-0 delivery. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Just a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. The delivery. Ball 2 outside. And guys, how big does a win today for either the Blue Wave or the Rams go for? Or how much does this victory mean, right, in terms of confidence, momentum? And you're picking up a big win against your rival. Answer after ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. But how big does this win go?
Yeah, outside of their record, Darien's sitting at 9-4 right now, and New Canaan sitting at 5-6. New Canaan be looking to get back to even on the season, and Darien would be looking to extend to 10, go to double-digit wins. But outside of just the record, it'd be a big personal motivator. It's a rivalry game, as you mentioned earlier. And Darien started off the season very hot, losing just 1 game out of their first 5. And now they've gone hit a little bit of a harder schedule. They've gone 3-3 in their past 6 games, and they really need to get back up, get in the win column, and gain some of that confidence, and maybe get a little momentum going before they head up over and get later into the season.
3 balls, 2 strikes, full count again for Jensen, this time against Zawacki.
Yeah, and like you said, David, a win against New Canaan for Darien or vice versa is really just going to be it's going to be sweet for them because you always want that win over your rival town. And especially for Darien, going to 6-3 in the FCIAC, that's huge. FCIAC win is always a lot sweeter. And even for New Canaan, getting another win because 2-6 in the FCIAC is not going to do it to make the tournament. And just getting a great win over a good team like Darien, that could put them. That could be the momentum they need to get back on a hot streak.
The full count pitch, gonna force Schulman to go in, make the play. Throw over to first by Schulman. Crossbody throw to Delicata. Gets the third out of the inning. Closes a 0 in the score column for that inning for the Blue Wave. And Jensen just shot down the 1, 2, and 3 hitters for the Blue Wave. So the top of the order goes down 1, 2, 3. Not what you want to see if you're a Blue Wave fan, but if you're New Canaan, right now you're in the top of the 6. You have a little bit momentum after the past 2 innings, and you have Alex Benevento up for the Rams.
Yeah, but that seems like the theme we're seeing this whole entire game. The top of the order just not being able to get it done. But the beautiful thing about baseball is it's 3-0, and that may seem like a big lead, but it's really not. All it takes is one inning, one bat to change the momentum of this game and really turn the tides. And New Canaan, with the hot bat in Benevento hitting first, he's going to try and maybe get one on Easterbrook because he's struck out the past 2 times.
Yeah, and you mentioned it only took 1 inning for the Blue Wave to compile these 3 runs. In the bottom of the second is when the Blue Wave tacked on the 3 runs, and it started off an error from Delicata, and then they kind of roped together a couple of singles, even a double in there, and got things going. And then for New Canaan, right, you mentioned that the energy was a little bit down until they got someone on base, but then once they got someone on base, they got things going, and it kind of got some momentum, some energy in the benches. Talk to me about that energy, David, on both the New Canaan side and the Blue Wave inside the dugout.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing that. New Canaan looked like last inning they were knocking on the doorstep of Darien, trying to break in, but Darien, we saw Taylor Campbell's great play, but as we're saying, the Darien bench throughout the game has been louder, and New Canaan, after the first couple of innings, they were a little bit silenced, but they're looking to get back some momentum here. I bet they're seeing Tyler Easterbrook has had a couple of rough batters that last inning. They're going to be trying to yell at him, knock him off his game a little bit, and especially with Benevento coming up, they're looking to capitalize on this inning here.
Yeah, and I noticed in the huddle, the Darien players are kind of just like cracking jokes, maybe trying to get Easterbrook to lighten up. You know, you're going against a big hitter in Benevento, and I think the main thing you have to do is not let the pressure get to you and treat him like he's a normal batter in a way. And
he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so if you keep pumping inside the zone, that's where you want to live, right? And he's been doing a great job mixing things up and going from left to right on the play. That one, a ball a little bit low and outside. Ball 1 to Benevento.
Benevento's got some.
My apologies. That's strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Caught the outside, clipped the outside corner on Benevento. Benevento in the box. The Rams center fielder.
Benevento had some words for the ump. You know, I feel like I've been seeing that all game. The New Canaan not really happy with the way the umpires have been calling this game, but you know that's just the way it goes. You can't always get the calls you want, and I think Benevento down early in this count, he's got to get back into it.
The delivery from Easterbrook, and that gets him 3 straight pitches, 3 straight strikes, and Benevento's 0 for 3. But one thing we saw there was Easterbrook, right? He sped things up. You saw the umpire kind of tell him to slow things down on the mound as Benevento was trying to step into the box. And then Easterbrook threw the pitch right away, caught Benevento a little bit off guards. But even then, just shows what baseball is, right? It's a game of kind of just some days you're going to have good days in the office, and some days you're just not going to be able to make contact. And Benevento not having one of his best games today, 0 for 3. But that brings up the senior captain, Henry Silva, the Colby commit, and the 4-hitter for the Rams.
Yeah, Tyler Easterbrook here once again just seems to have Benevento's number. You wonder if he's seeing something with Benevento, you know, just a type of pitch he can't get to, or maybe he's got into Benevento's head after that first one and then the second one. He's not afraid of him. One of the best players in the state. Certainly has to be one of the highlights of his season and getting a little hat trick of strikeouts on him.
And a check swing from Silva. Looks like he's a little bit shaken up there. But Silva check swung, and that ball bounced to the right of the first base bag. And Silva's going to take a second, but Easterbrook on a roll right now.
Yeah, and Benevento, he took a little time to walk back to the dugout, looked a little frustrated. Maybe we're in the 6th inning. Maybe he's hoping to get up again. Because he's going to want another one. He wants to get a hit against Easterbrook. He can't go over 3. It's really a mood killer. But like you said, baseball's a game of just like having on and off days. And sometimes you just go into a slump. And the main thing is you just have to get out of that slump and make just contact.
Easterbrook with the curveball. That's going to be roped down the right side. Going to be a single. He's going to turn 2. Go to second. Silva with the double. And he's even going to turn 2-3. A little bit of fielding errors in right field. Silva's going to slide, walk up.
Looked like Merritt Hole was trying to chase after that ball, and he just tripped up trying to get to it. What should have been maybe a double, he just got up, he slipped up, and it allowed that runner to advance to third. It looked like for a second it almost was an inside the park home run, which would have been drastic for the Wave.
And they're going to make a substitution. They're going to put Luke Bopp, the senior, on third. Known for his quickness and his speed. He's so fast at third. Silva doing a great job just roping a triple down the right line, and that's kind of where the experience, right, the veteran leadership steps up. You get a hit here, then you're going to be followed up by Adrian Delicato, Michael Marciano, and then Jack Somers, who's having himself a day today.
Yeah, and Easterbrook just needs to shake that off. Merritt Hole looks like he just kind of didn't get in front of that ball, kind of slipped, and it kind of costed them. But Easterbrook just needs to get back in, focus on the hitter, and
Delicata smokes that one to the left side. That's going to be caught in left field by the Blue Wave. That was in left field
by Owen Tyler.
Owen Tyler in left field making the catch, and that'll score Bopp. That removes the 0, the donut from the Rams scoring column. They tag on 1 in the top of the 6th, makes it 3-2-1. Blue Wave on top, but the Blue Wave showing no motivation to take out their pitcher in Easterbrook. They're not warming up anyone in the bullpen. They're leaving Easterbrook to kind of do his thing. Now cleans the bases. No one on first, second, or third. And you have Michael Marciano.
With the 2 outs, I don't think Wave is too worried about pulling out Easterbrook right now. He's just got to take down this batter and focus on the next inning if he stays in. Or maybe they'll look to bring in the reliever, Merritt Hole, in right field.
Yeah, maybe that's not why we're not seeing anyone warming up. Usually Merritt Hole will he plays in right field. He'll warm up in between innings. I see the backup catcher Jamie Buckchune out there putting on his stuff, so maybe in between innings Merritt Hole is going to get warmed up and come in to close out this game if they can hold on to this lead going into the 7th. 2 outs.
Michael Marciano digging in, 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 outs. The Rams just plated a run off a sac fly plating what would have been Henry Silva, but it was Luke Bopp at third. Marciano takes the first one. Takes the third pitch of the at-bat, the first strike. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Once again, the New Canaan batters there looked a little bit unhappy with the call. You could see him talking a little bit, turning his head and saying something. Not to the ump, but maybe to his coaches, trying to let him know.
I think it was more. He just didn't like the pitch that was given to him. Takes the fastball, 3 balls, 1 strike. And I think he might have gotten the takes on, right? You're up 2-0 in the count. Make Easterbrook continue to attack on pitches on his day. He's been out there for all 6 innings so far. So the pitch count raising up there. Marciano smokes the ball to the left side over Merritt Hole's head. Marciano turning, rounding first over to second and slides in. Marciano tags a ball there over the head of Hole.
Owen Tyler actually in left. Just wanted to correct you there, but it looks like this might maybe be it for Easterbrook. Yeah, it looks like the coaches are gonna change it, and
yeah, New Canaan finally just got one to drop. We've been saying it all afternoon. They've been getting the good contact on the bats. They've been hitting it far. Even on that fly out that got the runner in. Great play from Delicata, I believe. That one was a far hit almost to the warning track, and the New Canaan finally gets one over their heads, and their New Canaan bench loved that one. They're all getting rowdy over there. They're looking to finally come back, take away Darien's lead, and try to make a play to win this game.
Marciano smoked a fastball from Easterbrook, puts him on second. He is not the tying run. The Rams are down 3-1 right now against the Blue Wave. Jack Somers the batter coming up right now, the senior for the Rams. He's the tying run. He's had himself a pretty good day so far. He had the single to right field and then advanced the runner, I believe, on his second hit.
I believe in the second inning he had that double play, I think, or he was frustrated the last time he got up. If I do remember, he just got under, I think. But also, Easterbrook is staying in this game. Maybe I think the coaches have confidence that he can close out this inning, get out of the jam. They're still up 3-1, still 2-run cushion.
Easterbrook with the delivery. That one a strike right inside the box. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. So if you're the Darien coaching staff, right, you got to expect you're just going to ride with Easterbrook at least till the end of this inning. He's only given up 1 run on the day. But
yeah,
the Rams definitely doing a good job, right, of putting bat on ball. And Somers steps out for a second. Going to dig back in.
You seem to ride with Easterbrook this far. You gotta say he's giving you a great performance today, letting up just that 1 run, as you mentioned. That one must have hurt him a lot, though. And we're seeing New Canaan. Maybe they're getting into his head a little bit now as he goes for the pickoff at second base, something we've seen all afternoon, as we've mentioned.
You got to be careful, though, right, that you don't throw that ball into center field, because if you make a bad throw, you're right, you turn around a little bit too quickly, and you're not watching where you throw that ball, and that ball ends up in center field. Marciano could be on third, maybe even home, and that'll bring the Rams within 1 run. The off-speed stuff from Easterbrook against Somers, 2 balls, 1 strike, a little bit outside.
As you're saying, that throw to second did look a little dangerous there. Dominic Zawacki had to make an adjustment for it. I don't know if he just wasn't ready for it or Tyler threw a little bit off, but Darien's looking, and as they hit that down into the gap between first and second base, will the runner advance from third? He will not.
As Somers doing his job right. He's not going to be the last out of the inning. Singles into right. He's 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles, 2 right. Great job. Great piece of hitting from Somers. Advances Marciano to third, and I think it was a smart decision from Tisha to hold him right, and so that because Cole has a really good arm out in right field. He just showed it there. A little 1 bouncer to the catcher knee back behind the dish, and I think he would have been gunned out if he would have thrown that one.
Yeah, and Dominic, as you notice, a man on second. He's playing a little bit closer to second, so that's why it was hit through the gap, just a little bit on the placement of where the second baseman is.
Yeah, because he's the one that's going to hold on the runner at second, right? He's the one holding on Marciano, since he's going to be shifted a little bit to the left, and Somers just pokes it right through the hole. Maddox Hoffman, the freshman, up at the dish. Runners on the corners, and you got to expect that Somers is going to steal second. It's kind of a given in baseball, right? Runners on the corner. That runner on first always steals, but you got to watch out for Easterbrook's pickoff attempt.
We've seen Easterbrook all afternoon get himself out of these tricky situations with runners on in scoring position. We got to say, does he have one more trick up his sleeve tonight to get him out of this 6th inning and give way to the 7th so that Darien can go in with the lead?
Easterbrook puts strike 2 right inside the box against Hoffman. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Easterbrook's got a 2-run cushion, but runners on the corners challenging him here.
Yeah, but with 2 strikes, you got to think Easterbrook is not going to give him too much to hit here. You know, you're so head in the count. You got 4 balls to give.
Yeah, he's got a couple of pitches to give, right? So if you're Hoffman, right, you have to watch out for the 2-strike because you have the 2-strike approach, but all you need is a single to score that run from third. He's going to foul that one up, way up into the brush here at Darien High School field.
Especially for Easterbrook playing a freshman here, you got to say, is he going to try to play on that lack of experience almost and try to get him to chase a pitch outside or see what he can do to him? As you said, the Hoffman is a very, very good freshman playing on varsity at the starting catcher position. So he's clearly knows what he's doing. He's here for a reason, but you just got to say, does Easterbrook have that in him?
Easterbrook still attacking up here. Up 0-2 in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, the delivery. That one's high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Runners on the corner. The Rams with a little bit of momentum here.
New Canaan bench once again getting into it, yelling at Easterbrook, saying, chirp him in a little bit, tell him it's the batter's box, and letting him know that they're there and they're trying to get back into this game.
Hoffman, high pressure situation inside the box. Easterbrook decides to step off
I mean, this could be his last batter, you know, make it worth it. You know, not going to rush into anything, trying to get that good pitch, get it out of this jam with only 1 run. I feel like that would be the perfect situation for Easterbrook.
Delivery, an off-speed pitch there, fouled off by Hoffman. Great pitch recognition, right, to notice that it's not a fastball coming straight in, and instead a curveball, fouls it off to the right over the benches, the Blue Wave benches. And thank you guys. You know, the bench is not full of people, but I'm sure you're watching this stream on DAF Media Network, so thank you for watching. Myself, John Frieders, joined alongside by David and Cooper. And there's the pitch, 2 balls, 2 strikes, a ball up high. And Hoffman doing a great job, right, of working this count. He was down 0-2, now finds himself even at 2-2. And if he can get 1 more ball, right, he'll see himself up in the count.
Yeah, definitely not giving anything easy to Easterbrook here, fouling off a couple balls as we've seen, and he's really making Easterbrook work for this last out if he wants to get out of this inning, or potentially even continue and keep New Canaan on that dangerous run that they've been on with runners in scoring position.
Easterbrook with the 2-2 delivery. And that's a fastball outside, off of the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 ball away from loading up the bases for the Rams with Benny Heagle, the 9-hitter on deck.
Hoffman is really showing his maturity as a freshman, going from that 0-2 count with 2 outs now to 3-2 to try to keep this New Canaan inning alive. And we'll see what he can do here as the 3-2 pitch is about to come in.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the delivery from Easterbrook. Sommer steals, but that's ball 4 high. Hoffman to first. Rams load the bases in the bottom of the order, doing the work for both the Blue Wave and the Rams. We see it here again, and that might do it for Easterbrook.
Yeah, looks like it's going to do it, and here comes in Merritt Hole out of right field, and into right is going to be Will Donzizer. Will Donzizer will seize the field whenever Merritt comes in to pitch. Good right fielder, senior for Darien, lots of experience. Let's see if he can emulate what Merritt has done in the field, and hopefully Merritt can get out of this jam. 2 outs, not put in the best position with the bases loaded, but you only need 1.
Yeah, Merritt here definitely looking to get that striker out. He's got the fresh arm. Maybe he didn't get to warm up as much as he normally would for this. They were definitely trying to save him, pull him in between innings, let him warm up. But he's going to be looking here, try to get that first batter out, not let any funny business happen here, and we're going to see Merritt, the ace for Darien, coming.
And guys, it seems like whenever these 2 teams, these 2 towns play each other, it always comes down to the wire. New Canaan, Darien, a staple rivalry in the state of Connecticut, more or less even the nation, right? 2 teams colliding, always some of the best teams in the country.
And make these plays to get them to extend their lead after they just got out of that tricky situation with New Canaan.
We'll be back on the DAF Media Network for the bottom of the 6th in just a few short minutes as Jensen warms up for the 6th inning.
And we're back on the DAF Network. We have the number
The pitcher,
5.
Merritt Hole, up in the box against Jensen, who's pitched the first 5 innings of this game, making it a 6-1 up and away. But Hole has an opportunity, right, to help himself out here and add more runs. He came in to pitch for relief as that one skied to left field. Easy can of corn play caught by Sheffield in left field, the senior captain, but Sheffield makes the easy play. But again, Hole had an opportunity. We talk about it, a pitching change on the Blue Wave side. Hole comes in after Easterbrook found himself in trouble, loaded the bases, but Hole got out of it.
And here comes Tyler Spellman. He's really been great this game. You know, this part of the lineup, the 5, 6, 7, have really helped out Darien, getting these hits, getting the runs. You know, usually the 1 through 4 hitters are your power hitters and are expected to get on base. That hasn't been the case in this game.
And that'll be a strike delivered from the arm of Jensen. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Again, lots of ones. The Rams tallied 1 run last inning, but left 3 stranded. They find themselves down by 2, but nothing to do on the defensive end to get those runs back, right? You got to play good defense, finish out this inning. Jensen still on the mound. The Rams' ace this season has been phenomenal as he puts that off-speed pitch, the curveball, right into the zone, makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes, now with the advantage.
New Canaan here, if they want to keep this game close and keep it going, and they can't let any more errors happen in the outfield. They've seen what it did to them earlier, and Jensen seems to be taking care of it pretty well so far. 2 outs in the first 2 batters, simple fly out and a strikeout. Can we see if Sean Brophy can get something ignited for the Wave and extend that lead?
And a backwards K there for Jensen, the strikeout looking.
Yeah, and as a pitcher,
Spellman, and as a pitcher, right, as you're just, I'm sure there's nothing more that can boost your confidence more than striking out your batter, looking that one a little bit high.
especially in this late into the game in the 6th inning, just getting quick outs is what you need to save your arm. Now up, Sean Brophy. He's had success. He's 1 for 1 with a single in the 2nd and a walk in the 4th. So he's really been a savior for this Darien baseball team.
Jensen delivers a strike there, makes it a 1-1 count. Delivery and a 2nd strike. This one swinging from Brophy on an off-speed pitch. A little bit low. Looked like it dropped down below the knees.
Yeah, Jensen today, he's really been efficient. Besides that 1 3-run inning, Darien has not looked like they were able to get anything going. He's just mowed down batter after batter, really showing why he's New Canaan's ace today.
Bottom of the 6th, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Jensen with the pitch popped up, out of play. Gonna stay 2-2, but Jensen, you're right. This inning has been very quick, and these are the efficient innings that you want towards the back end of games, right? You want to get through innings quickly. You want to throw strikes, and you want to get quick outs, and that's exactly what he's doing. 2-2 delivery on the pitch. That's a ball, low and away. Gets away from Hoffman, but no one on base, so no damage.
3-2 the count now with 2 outs. We're looking to see if Sean Brophy can ignite that. He's got to hope that Jensen throws him a ball here. Otherwise, he'll be protecting the plate pretty tight. Doesn't want to be that last runner out or strike out looking like the last batter did. Get Jensen even more confidence.
Yeah, but Sean Brophy, and it goes over the head, and Sean's just going to run back to first base. That's his 2nd walk of the game, you know. He's got on base every time he's been up. He's really had success against the New Canaan Rams.
Jensen laughed a little bit, too, on the pitch. I think that one just got away from him on the fastball and almost hit Brophy in the head, but he picks him off right away. Almost a bang-bang play. Jensen again picking off towards first, just as Easterbrook did throughout the game. Both these pitchers picking off. Jensen with the ball, too.
Brophy's kind of fallen asleep on the base pads. He doesn't want to get picked off again. In the 4th inning after that walk, he got caught stealing. You know, that time it looked like he got caught sleeping, you know, got saved. And
that one skied into right. We'll see.
Oh, just foul.
Play not able to be made by the right fielder, Benny Hegel, the guy who made the last out for the Rams with the bases loaded. Off a little bit of contact. Runner going to go back to first.
Looks like Benny Hegel there was just a little bit afraid of running into the fence. Was definitely a very catchable ball for him. He slowed down at the end there, though, just a little bit. Looks like he didn't have that mental side to him where he wasn't afraid to put his body on the line.
That one, another pickoff attempt from Jensen over to first. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. And bottom of the 6th inning, Jensen, the delivery. That's ball 2. Low and away. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Blue Wave up by 3 with a runner on first.
And you got to think, how much more does he have in the tank?
That one skied to left, line out over to Schulman. Not hit as hard as the New Canaan one that was caught at third base, but still hit decently hard. Fielded by Thomas Schulman. Great job for the Rams. Get out of the inning. Going to flip over to the top of the 7th, where the Rams will have to put up 2, unless, or Otherwise, that'll make the Blue Wave victorious in the New Canaan Darien rivalry.
You got to think Darien here. They got their ace out there, Merritt Hull, looking to mow down 3 straight batters, not let them get anything going. And he's got a new catcher at the plate, Jamie Buckjune, looking to make his appearance today, the senior catcher.
A little bit of an interesting decision, right, to take out your catcher in the top of
and
the
Knee's
7th.
coming back in. Jamie
And
was
it'll
just
be
warming him
Knee.
up.
See, Knee was on deck, so he was just taking a little bit time to get back his catcher gear on.
Okay, so guys, let's go. Let's bring everyone into this game. Darien scored 3 in the bottom of the 2nd. New Canaan scored 1 last inning, but left 3 stranded on the bases. You also had an inning where the Blue Waves stranded a couple runners from great fielding plays by Maddox Hoffman. But now you're the Rams. You're down by 2, and you have the 1-2-3 hitter up. So you have Jack Sheffield followed by Thomas Schulman, and then Alex Benevento. What are we thinking? Benevento's 0 for 3. He has to make contact today, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important for Sheffield or Schulman to get on base here so Benevento can be up with a person on either first, second, or third in order so he can, like, get a good hit because he's got home runs this season. He's able to hit it out of the park, and he can tie this game up with just one swing of the bat.
And Darien changed the pitcher to Merritt Hull, so now Merritt Hull will be on the bump for the Blue Wave.
Especially with Easterbrook out of the game now, Benevento could be looking to catch Merritt Hull a little bit off guard. He knows Benevento seems to be a little bit out of the rhythm today, but with the switch of pitchers, we can see if he favors Merritt Hull's style a little bit more.
Definitely might favor him a little bit more, but Hull going to come in here. Expect him to speed up the tempo. Hull with the first pitch fastball right down Broadway for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike to Sheffield. Jack Sheffield, the senior captain, digging in to the box. Delivery from Hull. That's strike 2.
Yeah, and I just see
And that is ball 1. My apologies. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I just see in the New Canaan dugout, Benevento really looking at Merritt Hull, trying to study what pitches he's throwing. I think that's what experience does to a player. He's watching what Merritt Hull's throwing to see if he can, like, catch.
Ball ripped down the left field line.
The ump just gives the New Canaan bench a little bit of a warning. Maybe some things were said that shouldn't have been said.
Yeah, the bench definitely had an impact there. I mean, there was something said that tipped off that ump that he did not like, and you got to wonder if that's playing a factor into Merritt's head or if he just is staying cool and calm as he strikes out the batter.
Yeah, it looks like the chirps are not getting to him.
If anything, maybe it's motivating him a little extra, throwing it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Sheffield strikes out there on 4 pitches. Now that brings up Thomas Schulman, the sophomore, followed by Alex Benevento. No balls, no strikes, and 1 out here. Hull, the first pitch delivery is a strike outside part of the plate to Schulman. No balls and 1 strike.
And Merritt's found his groove. He's really looking good. He's showing why he's a great reliever and why they brought him in to finish the job. Getting off that number 1 hitter, trying to strike out Schulman to get down to 2 outs.
Hull on the delivery, 1-1 delivery, and that'll be a little bit low. Below the knees, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Schulman's up at the dish. Delivery from Hull. Schulman, ground ball to the right side, fielded cleanly by Donger over to Hull. And they're going to get the first out. The second out of the inning.
Yeah, Darien just mowing down the first 2 batters. Now New Canaan has Benevento up. Can he be the spark for his team? The senior captain committed to Brown University for baseball. Will he be able to get something done here and get New Canaan back in this game? Or will it be the Merritt Hull show again and take down this batter and close it out for Darien? 3 up, 3 down.
Hull came in from right field after not warming up that extendedly, right? And now he's just mowed down this New Canaan top 4. Benevento ground ball over to short. Over to Zawicki, over to Don Zeiser, and that will do it. Your Blue Wave will come out on top 3-1 after a ground out from Alex Benevento. And the Rams leave a couple hanging in that top of the 6th, top of the 7th. The Blue Wave come out, and Hull mows down the Rams 1-2-3.
And I can see the smiles on Darien's face. You know they wanted to win that game. It's a great win, always a great win to beat your rival team, And Darien's going to move to 10-4 and 6-3 in the FCIAC. And, you know, Darien's just looking like a complete team, you know. They didn't have the greatest hitting game, you know, only 4 hits, but the pitching was lights out. Easterbrook went 5 2/3 inning, and Merritt Hole just came in and got the last 4 batters out, and like nothing. It was clockwork for him.
Highlights of the game definitely have to be Merritt and Tyler Easterbrook's pitching. Both of them not allowing Alex Benevento, the best player on New Canaan, to get a hit. That was the key part in the Wave's success today, it seems, and they're going to be super happy with that win against a strong New Canaan side.
And that will do it. The Rams will plummet down to 5-7, now 2-7 in the FCIAC. Then on the other side, Darien moving to 10-4 on the season, making them 6-2 in the FCIAC. And they put together a really good performance today, led by strong pitching. They got the offense when they did in that second inning, but that pitching, what a performance from both Easterbrook and Hull. Hull coming in relief with the bases loaded to kind of close things down, shut out the New Canaan offense with 2 outs, stop the New Canaan offense in their tracks, then went down 1-2-3 in the top of the 7th, taking out the top 3 in New Canaan's order in Sheffield, Schulman, and then Benevento.
And you got to think those errors in the second inning really costed New Canaan, because, you know, that's where the 3 runs were scored, and the 2 errors didn't help out New Canaan. Also, I want to give a final shout-out to our DAF Media crew. You have Harris Cavana as the director, Jack Kinney on graphics. I'm Cooper Kelly. I'm joined alongside David Popson and John Frieders. Obviously, always a special shout-out to Damian Andrews, the core of DAF Media, and Bruce Ferguson helping set up and controlling all this.
Yeah, and that should do it here at Darien High School Field. Darien coming out victorious over their rival New Canaan, 3-1. Final thoughts on the game, anyone? Do you have anything else before we send it off and end the game?
Great game for Darien. It was a great broadcast. Pleasure to be out here with you guys.
Yeah, and I think Coach Scott, you know, I'll see him tomorrow in math class. He's definitely happy to have that win, because it's always good to get a win over your rival. And I think that Darien will carry this momentum and is looking to have a good year.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. New Canaan falls to Darien 3-1, and that should do it. Thank you for joining us here on the DAF Media Network. Thank you, and see you next time.